Hello everybody, thanks for checking into the QB Academy. I'm your head coach, DunlapGaming, and I'm here to get you shaped up and ready to be the quarterback nobody thinks you can be. I've been contemplating this series for a while, and I've gotten so tired of joining losing teams and immediately knowing why they're down 12 to 60 in the second quarter. Like, I'm sick of it. That is why I'm going to try to flatten the curve a little bit and build some quarterbacks out of all of you. This is just a bare bones basic video. I'm going to dive into 7 key parts of being a quarterback for Ultimate Football. And later on in the series, I'll go way more in depth with each one as we get more advanced. So let's get started. The first thing is probably the least important one, but it's the start of every single play as a quarterback. That is picking which play you're going to run. This dictates how your receivers line up to start each play. Every situation is going to be different. Sometimes situation dictates a stack on the left because the defense is too lazy to run across the field. Sometimes you want an even spread across the field, so you go Hail Mary. Sometimes you just want to make your own plays how you want to make them. Just remember, no matter what you do, the receivers never run the routes. Like they never do. They just run streaks. So my play of choice is the Hail Mary, solely because it gives me an even spread of receivers across the field. When a receiver steps onto their spot, there's a temporary speed boost to get past the defender or even break some ankles. So there's no reason to not call a play, because calling a free play won't give this to them. So take every advantage you can get right out the gate, and always remember to take a minute to let your offense set up. The next thing to hit on is part 2, which is pocket presence. So you picked your play and you've snapped the ball. Are there any rushers? Are there any blitzers? Again, every single play is going to be different. The situation dictates what you need to do in the moment. If nobody's rushing, there's no reason to run 30 yards backwards and then sling the ball 40 yards downfield for an interception. Hello? Game makers? Yeah, I'd like to report a robbery! This is garbage! Don't be that guy. Take your time. Watch the play develop. If there's no rush, then there's literally no rush. I'd say probably 7 times out of 10, someone is bound to rush you for a sack. How do we avoid this while keeping your eyes downfield? Don't be predictable, but don't freak out. As soon as you start spamming buttons, trying to juke people out, you're going to run yourself right back into the defender that you're trying to break. They can't dive, so you can't break their ankles like that. Be smart. Don't run straight backwards and create distance between you and the receivers. The more time the ball is in the air, is more time for the defense to close in on the ball. Mix it up a little bit. Try to go sideways, give a little fake, and then run back around. You can't see what's downfield, so his moves are entirely dependent on yours. Try to stay close to the line of scrimmage, but don't push so far that you have no outlet or that you need to run, because that will more than likely end up as a 2-yard gain, and the entire team will begin to turn against you. Be calm, keep your eyes downfield, and wait for your opening. Step 3, throw power. The power you select to throw the ball should be almost entirely dependent on where you are on the field. My standard is 90 and slowly decreasing after passing onto the opponent's side of the 50-yard line, then dropping to 85, then 80, then 75, but never going lower than 75. There's almost no reason to. But again, that's depending on where you are on the field. And even these numbers can be high. But it ensures that when you swing wide and you throw downfield across the grass, you'll have enough power to get the ball to where it needs to go. Another big distinction I would be remiss if I didn't hit on was situational awareness and deciding whether or not you need a bullet pass to zip the ball into tight windows or a touch pass to get air and defenders underneath of it. And I cannot stress this enough, you should never use 100 power at the goal line. Never. When you're in that tight of a space, yes, okay, it makes sense to thread the needle, leave no room or time for the defense to react. But your receiver kind of needs that time too, you know? Oh no! I threw the ball at him, my power was too high. I gotta warn him. Bro, listen to me. I need you to, oh my god, there it is! 90 power at the goal line is an absolute max, and 85 is even too quick sometimes. Anyways, with that aside, what are some situations you may need a bullet pass? Let's say AFK defenses, goal line passes, receivers splitting the coverage. I mean, I could go on, but you notice how I didn't say every single play though? Most of your passes are probably going to be touch passes. What are some scenarios for touch passes? Goal line fades, deep passes, your back is to the wall, Literally almost any pass. And don't shoot the messenger here, but I heard that if you throw a bullet pass, it's only that you like men. Get a little air under the pass. Get it over the defenders. It's hard to master, but when you get it down, you'll have the chat yelling dime in no time. These passes will turn the tide, and they will be your best friend. But again, that's a story for another video. Up next is part 4. Surveying the field and being the field general. What does this even mean? It means don't pass the ball in first person. I'm sorry if that's what you've always done and what you're used to, but it's time to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, bro, you like that?
Zoom out. You can see what none of the receivers can see, and that's why you get pissed when you throw it to someone that's wide open, and another guy says, bruh, I'm burning. Being a field general is to quite literally lead your team. You're responsible for the few seconds between snapping the ball and the ball getting to its target. That is all. But those few seconds dictate the entire game. With that said, tread lightly because any bad play is an excuse for someone else to take your place. Part of knowing how to play quarterback is playing defense and knowing what the defenders are thinking. Get used to playing outside of your position because it's something you need to know. Oh, I just hit a freaking clip! Oh! So let's say you roll out to your right. What are your receivers going to think? What about the defense? They're going to roll with you. It makes sense. You don't want to throw cross-body past a greater number of defenders, and your receivers don't want you to have to sling it downfield because you're running out of grass. All this comes back to leading your team. I first said you need to zoom out and see all the grass. You're the only one that sees this. You need to take your receiver where you need him to go. If your receiver is running a post to follow you because you're rolling out, but he's running right back into the defense while the corner is wide open, lead him to the corner. If you need a quick pass because your back is against the wall and the defense has his inside shoulder, lead him to the outside.
Super easy. Just treat them like your babies and put them to sleep.
You need to observe what your team is blind to, but in the process, you can't become blind yourself. We all get the tunnel vision trying to sling it down the field, but for goodness sake, please remember to check down if you have no options. That will save you so much time and so much stress. A 10-yard pass is way, way better than a 70-yard interception. Don't be stupid. Wait! What? What if this whole time I can't throw dimes? What if I actually suck at quarterback? What if this whole time it's always been Lurk and my receivers that have been bailing me out of trouble and horrible passes all this time? Nah, they suck. Part 5, and probably the most crucial part of being a quarterback, is understanding how to pass with precision. This takes the most amount of work in practice and is probably the hardest to get used to. Precision passing is what ties everything together and will put your name on the map and points on the board. Being a precise, accurate, intelligent, and calculated quarterback can look a ton of different ways. Everyone has their own play style, but every play style has these few things in common. I've seen quarterbacks throw the exact same 20-yard bullet pass with unbelievable accuracy to perfectly inch right over the defender's head and into the receiver's hands. I know because I was the defender. And when I'm telling you, it was like he couldn't go any lower or else I had to intercept it. But if he went any higher, he would overthrow his receiver. It's unbelievable precision that I've never seen before. And he just do it over and over again. Like, I've never seen a duo like that, but it ties into having their own play style and precision that works in their own way. So don't be discouraged if you feel like you can't fit the pigskin in a certain way. How do we get better at being as accurate as possible? Is it the gauntlet? I would strongly argue no. It's not realistic, constantly moving side to side on a set pattern and only really using 100 power to hit the targets. Since you have no way to work on throwing over the shoulder or down the field or comebacks or literally anything like that. But, it is an outstanding way to work on the side to side throwing. Targeting the 5, which is moving horizontally, will translate absolutely beautifully into things like running routes in park with your boys. That has been my #1 way of elevating that style of play and even landed me #1 globally at one point. Another way to work on downfield passing or even shorter routes is in the practice mode, of course. And yes, I know, God forbid you throw a ball on that field. You'd be surprised how much you can learn just picking at a target or a person and following them with your cursor and just trying to hit them for long completions. Heck, even while recording this video, a guy was trying to run routes for me, and this was giving me practice to throw corner routes and whatnot. Like, go out there, make a friend or two, just toss the ball. You'll slowly learn. Besides that, the best way to learn is just roll up your sleeves and do it. Like, experiment. Throw it high, throw it short. If people get mad at you because you suck, just quit sucking. Finally, we hit part 6. It is the biggest killer of tossing immaculate dimes, and it is patience. Again, the biggest killer of tossing immaculate dimes is getting too worked up, too excited, and you just begin to make these mental mistakes one after another. You make one mistake, now you feel like the whole world is on your chest and your job is on the line. Take a freaking breath and forget about it. Sometimes patience looks like keeping cool and collected after overthrowing a long pass multiple times in a row. Sometimes it looks like not freaking out after a guy takes your spot at quarterback and throws a pick. Don't be that guy. Don't be that. Oh my. I have that quarterback. I just have to. You're an embarrassment to humanity. Sometimes it's deleting the entire message you had spelled out when you get flustered with somebody. This isn't going to help you in the slightest. Telling someone won't increase your ability to play ball. Being able to let it go, keep your heart rate low, and just do what you do best is going to improve your game the most. Last but definitely not least, part 7. Celebrate your wins! Make friends, have fun playing the dang game. When you throw a good ball, acknowledge the good catch. Let them know it was a great snag. Be nice, build your character, and I don't mean in the game. Because who's gonna vote a dirtbag as quarterback even if he is good? Little things like this will help you keep you on your team's side, even if you mess up. The greatest quarterbacks of all time throw interceptions. That never caused their supporters or teammates to completely lose faith in them. Find a friend, build that relationship, and get better together. This is exactly how I met my freaking right-hand man Lurk, and even more recently NFS. Heck, he streams Roblox Ultimate Football almost every day. Go check him out. These friendships can often be taken outside of just Roblox football. But if you stick to just tossing the dimes, then you know there will be people that have your back and will grow as people and players with you. And always remember, after every single dime, to give thanks to the good God above.